welcome back to Books of Brandywine. Today I wanted to tell you guys about an organization and a website that is pretty close to my heart. So all of you guys know that I love to find writing and stuff in books. So like when I got the As You Like It at the thrift store, and I found notes like inside, all these cute cursive notes. And I even found inside it, which I don't want to show you for their privacy, but the name of the previous owner as well as their address in Texas. And there's even some notes in the margins. And it won't focus, but there's notes in the margins. And then things like Phantom Tow Booth, which I also got at a thrift shop. And I only flashed it because the name is actually on the cover of the original owner, or at least the last owner. And I realized looking at it that it's actually a kid that I go to church with, even though it was at a thrift shop across town. And then things like the Dogs of War, when I told you guys about it, and like all my mom's little like tabs and all of her underlines and her highlightings. So I love it when I get to have books that have writing in it from other people. And the reason I love it is because it shows a little bit about what they loved about the book, what they found important about the book, and just a little piece of them, like, oh my gosh, somebody actually did own this beforehand, and I kind of know who they are, and it just makes me look at the book a little bit differently. One of the reasons why I love the movie, I think it's called, Definitely Maybe. I don't actually like the movie very much, because I don't like all the drama, but one of the things I did like in the movie was that the girl was looking for a specific copy of Jane Eyre that had her dad's inscription in it, because he had written her a note when he gave it to her. And then she ended up getting rid of the book for whatever reason, and she spent the whole rest of the movie trying to find this book again. And in the process, she had started collecting copies of Jane Eyre that other people had written inscriptions in. And he actually shows at one point she has like a whole row of Jane Eyres with these inscriptions in it. And I loved that, but at the same time it kind of bothered me, because I'm like, what if they're looking for the inscriptions too, just like she is, and they'll never find it because she has them all. But I love stuff like that. I love seeing pieces of the humanity in people. And there's a website called booktraces.org, and I'll put that down in the link in the comments below, or in the description below, so you guys can find it too. And they're doing the same thing, but they're looking specifically for books from 19th to early 20th century. Mostly books that are in libraries, but also it could be private collections. And they're looking for books that have pieces of humanity in them. So whether they are inscriptions or pictures that have been tucked into the book, or letters that have been tucked into the book, or flowers, or pieces or locks of hair, just anything that shows that humanity interacted with that book, and besides just a book sitting there on the shelf. And anytime people come across any of these things, they can take a picture of it and upload it to the website, and they're trying to make like this huge database of it. And I love it. I think that's such a great idea. I'm a little sad that they aren't doing it more close to our century, because obviously I have some books that I'd be able to submit. But it's such a cute website. I would definitely suggest looking it up. And when you do go out into libraries, keep an eye open. If you happen to see 19th or early 20th century books, look through them, see if there's pieces of humanity that have been tucked inside them. And then report them to that website so that we can find them and we can learn about how humanity has interacted. I think one of the stories that they shared, and I read the article months ago, so I'm trying to remember it off the top of my head, but there was this poem, and I don't remember what the poem is. I will look it up and see if I can link it in the descriptions for you guys later. But whatever this poem was, it affected a lot of people. It was very popular at its time, and it was just everywhere. And this one lady from like the 19th century wrote in the notes of the book next to the poem about how her son had just died and how much grief she was going through, and how this poem helped her to try and get through that grief. And I think it was interesting, back then books were so much more rare than they are now. And there's a lot of us, like, I was definitely one of those people where I felt like it was super taboo to write in a book. Like, in high school, like, I could not mark my books. I could not fold the corners of my books. Like, my books were precious and sacred, and they needed to be protected. And then in high school is actually when my teachers started forcing me to write in books and take notes. And some of those books have actually become my favorite copies because of the notes that are in them. And so now I love marking in my books because I think it gives a piece of me to the book. But, to think that they were doing this in the 19th century when books were so much more rare, writing into the book what was important to her and what she felt when she read this poem and how much it affected her life and helped her. And it's stories like that that I love. I love hearing stories like that. So definitely go and check out booktraces.org and share in the comments below if you guys have stories about books that you found that have pieces of humanity in them. I want to hear your guys' stories. I want to learn more about this. I want to share this with you guys. So definitely comment below if you guys have any stories of finding humanity in books. And go check out the website, and I will see you guys soon. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you can see every time that I post a new video. And go ahead and like this video if you like it so I know to post more things like this. Thank you so much. See you later.